required for the past 6 years.
A fight to hold those accountable for failing to act.
This is one step in the many steps toward justice for the people of Flint.
Now, a landmark $600 million settlement for those impacted by Flint's lead-tainted water.
This partial settlement says Flint matters. It says we matter.
But the fight is not over.
We have not crossed the finish line until I think individuals are charged criminally.
What this money means for the people of Flint and what needs change moving forward. Mid-Michigan Now team coverage of this pivotal moment starts right now. Good evening, everybody. It's been a historic day for Flint and its residents. It's what many people call the first step towards justice. We have all angles covered for you tonight. Dave Bondi is breaking down the lawsuit, who stands to get this money. BRIA Jones is talking to Flint mothers whose children have suffered from the lead poisoning. And Stephanie Parkinson is getting reaction tonight from lawmakers. First, we have this overview for you. It's a preliminary agreement, a $600 million settlement for those impacted by the water crisis. Attorney General Dana Nessel says the negotiations took 1.5 years, and the majority of the money will settle claims involving children. Complete details are expected within 45 days. If this settlement gets final court approval, Nessel says it will likely be the largest in Michigan history.
Really, it encompasses a lot more than just the $600 million. When all is said and done, it's probably going to be over $1 billion that the state pays for all kinds of things, early intervention programs for children, health care programs, programs for seniors. We have replaced, or we're in the process of finishing the replacement of all the lead servicing lines in the city of Flint. And really, the list goes on and on.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer also weighing in on this tonight. She says Flint has waited long enough for this day to come.
We reached this settlement because further delays were unacceptable, and I want to acknowledge that Flint residents have been beyond patient. We recognize that the settlement may not completely provide all that Flint needs. We hear and respect those voices and understand that healing Flint will take a long time.
Well, that brings us to the mothers and the children who have borne the brunt of all the damage. Our team coverage begins now with Mid-Michigan Now's BRIA Jones. She is live from the Flint River for us. BRIA, how are people reacting?
Well, Mike, those I spoke with say this is partial justice for Flint that is long overdue. Now, Flint water crisis whistleblower Leanne Walters says Attorney General Dana Nessel's announcement of the $600 million settlement made her very happy. Walters is a pioneer in the water crisis. She noticed her tap water became brown back in December of 2014. That's when she says she started questioning city leaders and testing the quality of the water. Now, 6 years later, she says her 4 children have developmental issues and the entire family still gets rashes.
I think it's going to benefit families tremendously. And I'm very pleased with the fact that the numbers are the way that they are, because children were the ones that were most at risk, especially 6 and under, because of brain development. And so I feel that justice is being served for the children in this sense.
The other part of justice, she says, will be finally seeing someone charged for their role in the Flint water crisis. Now, coming up at 6, we're talking to 7-year-old Sincere Smith, one of the youngest faces of the Flint water crisis. For now, reporting live in downtown Flint, BRIA Jones, Mid-Michigan Now.
All right, BRIA, thank you for the live report. Now, many people in the city want to know how they can directly benefit from this settlement. Mid-Michigan Now anchor Dave Bondi is looking into that angle for us. I know you listened in to a conference call today with the lead attorneys. What are they saying?
Yeah, this is a question that lots of people have. How can they, get involved? And the lawyers are answering these questions. There was a news conference held earlier today, and that big question is, how do they get some of this money? A lot of people would like to know that. Well, the attorneys say all of this has been in the works for the past 5 years and 18 months. Now, when it comes to the community getting what is coming to them, it's all about education, they say. The lawyers say they will have teams on the ground in Flint helping people. Residents can begin filing claims anywhere from 45 to 60 days. And before any money is given out, a judge will review any issues and details from that settlement.
We are going to spend a lot of time educating the community about the plan, how it operates, and how everybody can participate. We will have navigators on the ground to help people understand what their options are.
Now, the attorneys have set up a website with all of this information the people of Flint need to know. We have linked to that on our website, midmichigannow.com. Stay with us because I will take a look at how social media is reacting to this settlement in about 5 minutes. Mike.
All right, Dave, thanks. So how did we get to this point? We have a timeline here to go over some of the history. Back in April 2014, Flint switched to using the Flint River as its water source. Complaints started coming in from residents literally immediately. By October that year, General Motors said the water was rusting its car parts. A year later, Governor Rick Snyder announced that he had agreed with findings that Flint kids had been poisoned by lead. Then in April 2016, former Attorney General Bill Schuette filed the first charges in connection with the water crisis. Now you can find the latest information on the water lawsuit, this settlement, on our website, midmichigannow.com. Just go to the news tab and look for Flint water woes. Coming up in our 5:30